Welcome back to the Option Guy. Today we're talking about the forgotten Greek, Rho. If delta is the rock star, gamma is the wild roller coaster, and theta is the silent killer, then Rho is, well, the nerd sitting in the corner with glasses quietly doing math. But here's the thing, when interest rates change, that nerd suddenly becomes very important. So what is Rho? Rho measures how sensitive an option's price is to changes in interest rates. If interest rates rise by 1%, Rho tells you how much the option premium will change. Now you might be thinking, who cares? Rates don't change every day. True. But when they do, especially for long-term options, Rho can swing your P&L in ways you didn't expect. Formally, Rho is the change in an option's value for a 1% change in the risk-free interest rate. For example, if a call option has Rho equals 0.25, and interest rates increase by 1%, the option premium will rise by 25 cents. And if you're trading long-dated options like leaps, those numbers add up fast. Here's why Rho is often ignored. Most traders deal in short-term options, 1 week, 1 month. For them, Rho barely matters because a tiny interest rate change won't move near-term premiums much. But if you're holding options that expire in a year or more, Rho suddenly matters. And ignoring it is like ignoring gravity. When interest rates rise, call option prices generally go up. Why? Because instead of tying up money and buying stock, you can hold the call option and keep the rest of your cash in the bank earning interest. So higher rates equals calls slightly more valuable. On the other hand, put options lose value when interest rates rise. That's because the benefit of holding a put, the right to sell stock in the future, becomes less attractive compared to just holding cash. So higher rates equals puts slightly cheaper. Think of it like bank deposits. When interest rates are low, you don't care much about parking money in the bank, so holding puts is more attractive. But when interest rates are high, putting cash in the bank gives you steady returns. Suddenly, holding puts feels less useful. Rho reflects this trade-off. Let's look at a US example. Suppose you buy a 2-year Apple call option at $5. Rho equals 0.30. If interest rates rise by 1%, that option could now be worth $5.30. That's a 6% jump just because of rates. No stock move needed. Now India. Suppose you buy a 1-year Nifty call option priced at 100 Indian rupees. If Rho equals 2, and interest rates rise by 1%, your option becomes worth 102 Indian rupees. Again, the index didn't move, only the interest rates did. For long-dated contracts, this matters. So let's recap Rho. A Rho equals sensitivity of option premiums to interest rates. Calls go up when rates rise, puts go down. A Rho matters more for long-dated options. A short-term traders? You can mostly ignore it. In short, Rho may not be flashy, but it's the quiet Greek that keeps the math honest. And that's Rho, the nerdy Greek in the options family. It doesn't get much attention day to day, but in certain environments, especially when interest rates are moving, it can shape how options are priced. In the next video, we'll wrap up with a full Greeks comparison showing how delta, gamma, vega, theta, and Rho all fit together. So hit like, subscribe, and share this with your trading friends. I'm the Option Guy, thanks for watching, and remember, even the quietest Greek has a big role to play.